First things first, I want you to take a look at this book and decide if it's fiction or nonfiction. You can open it up. When you're ready, put a thumb up on the table for whether it's fiction or nonfiction. Thumb up on the table if you're ready. What do you think, Dad? Is this fiction or nonfiction?
I think it's fiction.
Why?
No, I think it's nonfiction.
Why?
Because it's a lot of things.
Can you build on that? Someone else? Leah?
The bill of what Dad said because Dad says this is fiction.
You think it's fiction?
No, I think the book has something that's gonna happen in real life.
Good. And what is the word for when something happens in real life? Is it fiction or nonfiction?
Nonfiction.
Nonfiction. Good. I love that explanation. And it gets confusing because nonfiction means real, but fiction means not real. So it's confusing. Good job. So yeah, I look through here. I see that, but not only that. I see some of the things that we've already talked about. I see a table of contents. I see pictures of real things. I see some other things I'm going to introduce to you. The glossary, yeah. So today, Scholar Ready, track me. Today we're using 3 things to help us figure out new words. So we're using the labels. Just track me, don't open your book. These are labels. Labels. The labels are just telling me what the picture is. They label the picture. So this is wind, this is solar, and this is water, and this is biofuel. These are all energy sources. The label helps me figure out what the words mean. If I'm trying to figure out what wind or solar means, I can look and say, oh, the sun's right here. If I forget what water energy is, oh, it's when the water is really powerful and comes down. We also call this caption because it's talking about the picture. Here's a caption. All the lights in the house use energy. Here's another caption. Cows get their energy from eating grass. Here's another one. Oil refinery, oil pump.
Wait, is that not the label?
They're like almost the same thing.
Oh.
So it's tricky. Labels are usually one word and captions are usually a sentence. So this one would be considered a caption and this would be a label. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let me put that down here. So label is usually one word. And caption is usually a sentence. And they're always about the picture. And these help me understand new words. The other thing that Jesus already pointed out is the glossary. The glossary, you can turn to it, is on page 18. The glossary is on page 18. And the glossary has the words and the meanings of the words to help me figure out new words. So I'm using 3 things today. Repeat after me. Labels, captions, and glossary. These will help me figure out new words. Let's try it out. Let's turn to page, actually let's read the title first. So the title is Where We Get Energy. Spanish speakers, does this word remind you of anything from Spanish? The word energy. Leah?
Must be the
What word? Energy.
energy.
What word in Spanish is almost the same?
Oh, energía.
Yep. Energy, Dad, since you don't know this because you don't speak Spanish, is how we get power. Lights. Like, yeah, cars, things like that. And we'll learn about where we get energy. Okay? All right, let's open up. And we're going to try and figure out new words using labels, captions, and the glossary. All right, page 4. I'm going to read this out loud, and then we're going to figure out the meaning of a few different words, okay? So follow along. I'm at introduction. Introduction. We use energy for many of the things we do every day. Energy lights, heats, and cools our homes and schools. It allows things to move around. Pause. I'm going to go ahead and you can do the same thing and circle the word energy because it's a word that I'm not sure of, and I'm going to use the glossary because it's in bold. Go ahead and circle the word energy, and then if I don't know it, I use the glossary because it's a bold word. It is a nice and dark word, so I turn to the dictionary or the glossary in the back, and I go, energy. Oh, found it. Power. Go ahead, Jesus. Power that helps.
Power that helps us to work and run our bodies and our machines.
So I would say, track this sentence right here. I would say, I think energy means, and I would actually know what it means because it's right here, power that helps to work and run our bodies and machines. I use the, what did I use? Labels, caption, or glossary to help me?
Glossary.
The glossary. What I used, Dad? What I used, Denise?
The glossary.
Great, let's keep going. You need energy to run and play. You need energy to think and sleep. Where does this energy come from? I know all those words. I'm good. Energy comes from many kinds of important natural resources. Sunlight is our most important natural resource. Coal, natural gas, and oil are natural resources too. So are things like plants, wind, and water. All right, I see the caption of biofuel, water, solar, and wind. So I'm looking at these words up here, and I see the word wind. Go ahead and circle the word wind. And even though at the bottom right here, I also see the word resources, which kind of looks like a word from the picture. So you see the word resources? Yep. Okay, and I'm going to use the caption and label of these pictures to help me. Let's look at the word for wind. I see wind here. I see wind here. What do we know about wind? Leah?
The picture of the wind is confusing.
Yeah, it is kind of confusing. Let's try and figure it out. What do you think this thing is? What do you think this thing is here? Here's wind.
Wind.
What is it, Dad?
I think is this here. It can spin around.
Yeah, it spins. And what happens when it spins? What does it make?
Power.
Yeah, power, energy. It's the wind is spinning it. So the wind energy is here. I use this to help me think of that. Now let's think of resource. I only see source, but these are all the different energy resources. So I see wind, biofuel, water, and solar. Those are all sources. So I use this word down here and this word down here. So I use what did I use? The label and caption. I couldn't use the glossary here because it was not a bold word. I didn't find any bold words. Okay? While you're reading today, I want you to at least try to find out the meaning of one new word so that you can fill out this sentence. I think means I use the to help me. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and read. And I'm going to listen to you. Okay, you should be starting to read. Go ahead.
We use energy for many of the things we do every day. Energy, light, heats, heat, and cools our homes. And schools, it allows things to move around.
Good. It looks like you paused at this. It allows things to move around. What do you think it does? What do you think the word allow means?
No, wait.
No, pause. I know you're trying to use, it's actually not going to be in the picture. But okay, so it says, it allows things to move around. So it has to be a verb. It has to be what it's doing. What does it do? It things to move around.
running.
It energy things to move around? Let's think of some suggestions. Does it? What do you think it is? Do you think it stops things to move around? It helps things to move around? Or it makes things to move
It
around?
makes noise. It helps.
Yep, because makes doesn't make any sense. You can't say it makes things to move around and it doesn't stop. So we think of some ways that we can put these words in. The reason why I'm helping you with this is figuring out new words is because your decoding is really, really good. Okay, so you're doing a good job. Don't forget those S's at the end. Okay? Okay, keep going. Dad, can I hear you? Where are you?
No cars, just plants and trees get energy from gasoline.
Can we find that in the... So looking at this picture, because it's under this energy from gasoline, I can figure out what gasoline means from here. Do you know what gasoline is? Let's look at the picture. Figure it out. Where do we get gasoline? Yeah. Where is this thing in? It's going... Yeah, that's exactly where we get gasoline. So if I don't know, I can look at the picture and think, what is gasoline? Oh my goodness. And then I figure it out. Keep going, nice job. Gasoline. Oil. Yeah, let's circle this one. Oil, I see it here, and I see it here.
Oil is a natural energy used to